Welcome, everyone. Listen, if you've ever stared blankly at a grammar worksheet, just completely paralyzed by the terms active and passive voice, I want you to take a deep breath. Seriously, you are absolutely not alone. It's one of those topics that trips up so many students. But today, we are totally throwing away the confusing jargon. Think of this explainer as a friendly, stress-free tutoring session. We're going to break this all down together, step by step, and I promise you, by the end of this, you won't just understand voice change, you're literally going to master it. Okay, let's dive right in. So, to truly get this, I want you to imagine for a second that you are a famous movie director, okay? And the sentence you're writing is your stage. You have a spotlight, and you have total, absolute control over where it shines. Every single sentence fundamentally asks two things: who is doing the action and who is receiving it. Grammar is really just like directing that play. You choose exactly where to point the spotlight. Do you want your audience to look at the actor throwing the ball, or do you want them to look at the ball being thrown? That choice, my friends, is literally all that voice actually means. Let's actually see that choice in action. In the active voice, the spotlight is blasting right onto the subject doing the action. Ram writes a letter. Ram is the star of the show. But look what happens with the passive voice. The spotlight completely shifts over to the object receiving the action. A letter is written by Ram. Notice how the meaning hasn't changed at all? Ram is still holding the pen, the letter is still getting written. It's purely a stylistic choice of focus rather than some crazy, confusing mathematical rule change. You are just moving the spotlight. All right, to prove to you how manageable this whole thing is, here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, shifting the spotlight, then the magic formula, navigating tenses, special rules, dodging common traps, and we'll finish up with the exam trick. It's a totally logical flow with finite boundaries. You've got this. Let's keep moving. Okay, section 2, the magic conversion formula. This is your ultimate grammatical cheat code. Here is the absolute best part of this whole topic. This single string of words will solve almost every voice change problem you will ever face. Ready? Object plus helping verb plus V3 plus by plus subject. I really want you to burn this into your memory. Now, the most absolutely crucial part of this master key is that V3, which just stands for the past participle form of the verb. We're talking words like written, sung, or eaten. In the passive voice, your main verb must always be in this V3 form. It's a total, non-negotiable must-have. Think of these 6 steps kind of like choreography building into a real action sequence. Step 1, find your cast, the subject, the verb, and the object. Step 2, make the object the new subject. You literally move it to the front of the stage so it steals the spotlight. Step 3, add the correct helping verb, words like is or was. Step 4, change that main verb into its V3 form. Step 5, just add the word by, which acts like a little bridge. And finally, step 6, take the old subject who used to be the big star and place them at the very end of the sentence. They're just a background character now. Moving right along to section 3, navigating tenses and pronouns. Let's create your mental cheat sheets. Now, shifting things around on stage requires changing a few small wardrobe details for your actors. But don't worry, it relies on incredibly simple pattern recognition. Here's your first mental cheat sheet, the pronoun shift role. When a pronoun moves from the front of the stage to the back, it has to change its outfit. I becomes me. She becomes her. They becomes them. Notice how you and it get to stay exactly the same. Lucky them. So a really simple sentence like, she helps me, smoothly transforms into, I am helped by her. The me steps into the spotlight and turns into an I, and the she moves to the back and becomes a her. Easy, right? So the tricky part for most people is figuring out those helping verbs. Well, here is your easy tense trick. Remember earlier how I said the main verb is always stuck in that V3 form? Because the main verb is basically frozen, the helping verb has to do all the heavy lifting to tell us what time it is. If the action is happening right now, use is, am, or are. If it happened yesterday, swap in was or were. Future, use will be. It really is that simple. You just swap the helping verb based on the tense of the original sentence, while that V3 verb stays completely untouched. Let's look at this in action with a present continuous example. Okay, active voice. She is writing a letter. We've got an ing happening here, so it's continuous. To make it passive, we just follow our formula. A letter is being written by her. Do you see what happened there? Because the original verb writing had an ing, we need the word being to carry that continuous weight. Being is the absolute magic ingredient here that tells the listener, hey, this action is actively happening right now.
All right, Section 4, Special Rules and Commands. We are tackling exceptions with ease.
You can kind of think of this as the boss level of our grammar game. But I promise you, even these exceptions follow beautifully simple patterns. Let's just quickly fire off the formulas for these scenarios. First, modals. These are words like can, must, or should. The trick? Just add be plus V3. So, you must obey the rules becomes the rules must be obeyed. Boom, simple. Next, imperatives. These are commands, like open the door. For these, we use the word let. So the formula is let plus object plus be plus V3. Let the door be opened. And for negatives, please don't panic. Just slip the word not right next to the helping verb. She does not write becomes a lettle is not written. See? When we break it down like this, it's not scary at all. So what about questions or interrogatives? Super easy. You literally just pull the helping verb to the very front of the stage. Did she write a letter becomes was a letter written by her. But I've got to say my absolute favorite is when a sentence has two objects. Take something like, she gave me a pen. We have me and we have a pen. This is actually super empowering because you get to choose who gets the spotlight. You can say, I was given a pen by her, or a pen was given to me by her. Both are 100% correct. Remember, you're the director. Next up, Section 5, Dodging Common Grammar Traps. Let's look at a few mistakes to avoid on your journey. I definitely want to point out the common potholes on the road to mastery here, just so you can confidently steer right around them. The biggest one by far? Intransitive verbs. These are verbs that just don't have an object, like sleep or cry. If you say, the baby sleeps, there is absolutely no object receiving the action. And think back to our rule. The passive voice requires shifting the spotlight to the object. Well, if there is no object, the spotlight has nowhere to shine. So intransitive verbs simply cannot be changed into the passive voice. Aside from that, always double-check that you haven't forgotten your V3 verb form. And most importantly, just make sure the core meaning of your sentence hasn't accidentally changed. And now, Section 6, the ultimate exam trick. This is your foolproof strategy for test day. All right, this is where we bring everything together into a totally actionable, repeatable process. This is going to instantly remove all your anxiety during a test. The next time you're staring down a confusing sentence on an exam, I don't want you to freeze. I want you to run through this simple 4-step checklist. Just ask yourself, Step 1, where is the object? Find it, grab it. Step 2, what is the tense of the sentence? Find your helping verb. Step 3, what is the V3 form of the main verb? Figure that out. And finally, Step 4, plug it all right into your magic formula. Object plus helping verb plus V3 plus by plus subject. If you just ask these 4 questions, I swear the sentence practically rewrites itself. And that brings us to the end of our session. See, voice change isn't some rigid, terrifying set of rules you have to blindly memorize. It's basically a set of creative tools. It's a spotlight. And now you know exactly how to use it. You know how to direct your audience's attention exactly where you want it to go. You can use the active voice when you want to sound confident and powerful. And hey, keep that passive voice in your back pocket for when you accidentally break a vase and just need to say, mistakes were made. So I'll leave you with this one question. Now that you completely control the spotlight, how will you shape your next sentence? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep practicing and you're going to be directing perfect sentences in no time.